Hello, and I am back with a very interesting game in the Dresden. Now, the reason why it's interesting is because maybe I should give it away. Yeah, I'll give it away. Phoenix destroys the entire team. I know the entire team is only 4 kills, so even though he destroyed the entire team, he doesn't even get a Kraken. But it's a very interesting game. Anyway, before we get into that, I'm going to quickly summarise what the Dresden is like to play and the pros and cons. So, with the Dresden, you have paper-thin armour, and you should expect large amounts of AP damage. Do not go against battleships, because they can ruin you at most angles. Also, it does make it not the best ship to go against destroyers either. Where this ship shines is cruiser hunting. The AP is pretty powerful. You can easily take on a lot of ships, even in tiers above you. For example, you can take on the St. Louis, which is a very difficult ship to attack. The Dresden does have very high shell arc, so do think about that when you are attacking the enemy. And avoid getting into one-on-one firefights, because you will lose due to the Dresden's quite thin armour. Now, let's get into the game, and we can see here how Phoenix is attacking this Chumacama. You can't even see the ship, that's how far he has to lead on the shells. What I like to do here, I do like to zoom out a little bit in order to see the ship I'm firing at, so I can see what they're doing. Anyway, the pros of this ship: high rate of fire. You have a lot of guns on each side, so you can turn around and do the circle of death, so to speak. The Dresden is definitely comparable to the St. Louis. It's pretty fast, as you can see here. You're going 22, 23 kilometers knots. Top speed is 25 knots. Good rudder shift time, which is very good for manoeuvring away from other ships. As you can see here, he's doing not a bad amount of damage. I'd probably switch over to AP now that he's angling. HE is the better choice. The Dresden doesn't have a very good fire chance, so there is not too much of a point in firing it. I think it only has 4% fire chance, so almost pointless. If I was him, I would be firing AP. As you can see, it doesn't do that much damage. 1500 damage is not too bad. Where this ship suffers is its thin armour. It's HE, very low damage on HE, and the high shell arcs. As we can see here, he switches over to AP. I'm glad he does that, and you can see he does a lot more damage. You got a lot of those shells coming in, hitting nicely, hitting hard, doing a lot of damage. Switches over to HE. He does get a fire. Well, I guess it has to happen, doesn't it? As you can see, those high shell arcs can get over the top of that island. Now, if we're looking at our team, we can see that our Chester and the Chikuma is moving, not really moving in towards the enemy base that effectively. This isn't necessarily a good place, and I would say that Phoenix is quite out of place. He's on the side, which isn't necessarily the best place to be. But luckily, Phoenix, well, not luckily of course, using great skill, Phoenix is moving back in towards the centre. Now, I would say that Phoenix's team is in a much worse position. They are surrounded. By the enemy team, and they're actually capping right now. This is usually pretty bad, but it looks like Phoenix is going to secure this kill, which is brilliant. Somehow, well, not somehow, I'm about to say he's had 2 fires, but if fire chance is 4% and he's had 50 shells, well then that's 4%, so that's not bad. I think one thing I would say to Phoenix, if I could advise him, is not to use HE so much. AP is definitely the shell of choice. You can see that it really doesn't do that much damage at all. 6 hits and only 500 damage, so definitely advise against using that. Look, 10 hits, and he's still less than 1,000 damage overall so far. Not the most effective way of taking it down. But obviously he does play pretty decently. His team are actually down on ships. Only 2 of them left versus three these guys. And again, he's moving quite far out. He's trying to wiggle his way out. He's angling. He's making himself pretty hard to hit, which isn't a bad idea when you're going against another Dresden. It looks like that Dresden is going pretty straight. It's not really moving very much. And I can see Phoenix is doing quite well. He's definitely looking at what's happening around him, which is very good to do in a tier 2. This is quite an interesting position. It's quite hard to actually get very many hits on the enemy team. Oh, there we go. 21,000 HP done, damage done, and he gets the high caliber. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? He's already done 1/3 of the amount of damage on the entire team. Not too bad, not too bad though. If I was him, I'd probably start trying to make it a turning around, and I would try and push myself back in towards the islands in order to take advantage of the cover. You should be able to then make better plays. He gets another fire, which is pretty decent, so he is 4 fires, but unfortunately it's quite easy to repair these fires. It's unlikely he's going to get much damage at all. It's quite funny watching this because it's so hard to actually hit each other. Which and a lot of these shells are missing. They're going out to that side. But this is what it is like in these low tier games. You don't necessarily play for the competitiveness. You play for the lols essentially. You want to play to have fun. You want to just hit little boats and with your little shells, and yeah, it's good fun. I mean, to be honest, I do love playing low tier because it is such fun. It's just a joke really. So he's got another fire, 5 fires and under 100 shells, so he's getting pretty lucky here. And not much damage is being done to him, and he's not doing that much damage. If he had switched over to AP, which is what this Dresden has just done, he'll be doing a lot more damage. But he's whittling him down slowly, very slowly. For some stupid reason, the enemy team has decided to move out of sight of the cap, and they could have won this game quite easily just by sitting in the cap. But that's a bit of a shame, but never mind. And this Dresden is moving right out to the very corner. It's quite far out, if you ask me. Although I would say that Phoenix is doing pretty well for going against two enemies, both shooting at him, and he's surviving alright. He's got 4,000 HP left, and he's got to avoid all of these AP shells, because these APs can easily plunging fire through you. So you can see there, these AP shells will do a lot more damage than the HE shells that he's firing at him. It looks like he's going to take him down using the fire, which is nice and convenient, because these shells really aren't doing much damage. There we go, second kill of the match. Now, it's time to move back into the main battle area. There is this Weymouth. This Weymouth hasn't really done much. I feel like he hasn't really hit very much on target at all. Hopefully, Phoenix can take him down. One of the advantages of having a high shell velocity is that you are able to shoot over islands. I'd recommend Phoenix to move back in towards the islands and use these islands to shoot over the top of. He's been trying to throw this HE over open water, which isn't where it's best used at. Because you can see he's mainly missing, because as soon as these ships move around, it becomes very hard to hit. You can see on screen how long the shells take to get there. It takes nearly 9 seconds to fire the shells up to 9 kilometers away. So that's 1 kilometer for every second. Now he's using this island here. Unfortunately, no one's spotting for him, which does make it a bit more difficult. And here is a Weymouth who's just sitting here shooting the other enemy teams. This seems like a relatively easy kill. It looks like the allied Weymouth is going to be taken out by this friendly Weymouth. Only a couple more shots and he's gone. Yes, that's right. All depending on Phoenix right now. Taking out this Weymouth here. This seems like to be the kill shot. And it wasn't because he's using HE. Please, 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 please use AP. And it's going to be quite difficult to take this guy out because he is pretty far away. There we go. That one hit destroyed him. Now, our Dresden with 4,000 health versus the Weymouth with 2,000 health. Who's going to win? Well, we know who's going to win. It's going to be Phoenix. But how is he going to win? Okay, I might as well take this opportunity here to sum up what I thought of this game. I would say that it's pretty clear that Phoenix was going against some very inexperienced players. And I would say that Phoenix also played relatively inexperienced too. He moved out to where the boat was weak. He stayed out quite a long time in the open water. He is using HE rather than AP. It is definitely recommended to use AP more or less at all times, unless you are going against a very angled battleship at relatively like medium range where your shells would just bounce. You must understand that German AP is one of the most powerful APs. It has very high damage, although the shells are relatively light. But AP is definitely the weapon of choice. If I could just move my mouse over to the top of, you can see here, does it tell me the damage? No, it doesn't. Can I see the damage over here? No, I haven't got the damage numbers here. I will get the damage numbers up on my other screen. Yes, the maximum damage you can do with AP at T2 in the Dresden is 2,300, which is quite a lot if you ask me. And the maximum HE damage is 1,200, and that's of course getting a citadel. If you are just doing penetrations, you have to divide that by 3. That means the maximum you can really get without citadeling is 400, and that's if you actually do that damage. Often you'll get even less than that. Bit of a lull here. We're just waiting for Phoenix to move in towards the enemy and prevent them from capping out. A lot of us always want to play the high tier games. It's always good fun playing T10, but I would say some of my most fun and enjoyable games are in the low tiers. It's just for lols, just to pew pew out loads of little HE and just sink boats just for the fun of it. It's a bit of a joke really, but it's good fun. It's good fun. I do every time I'm having a bad day on World of Warships, I'm having a losing streak, or I'm just not playing that well. I'm just woke up on the potato side of the bed, and I'm just not playing that well. I jump into my low tier ships. My favourite low tier being the doesn. Just YOLO in, fire some torps, and if you survive, go again until do that till you die. And here we go. Hopefully he switches over to AP. AP would be definitely the better choice. It seems as if this guy's not really shooting. He is doing a little bit of damage. He should be able to kill him here. And he's moving off. So he should... There we go. And there's the kill. That was a great match. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And I'll catch you later.